I'm not talking. You went live there.
We went live.
You think I didn't see that? Oh man, I totally saw that.
Mark Keeman Cup coming with this great idea that we're gonna go on a cruise somehow without Jody and Misty. Like that's gonna happen. I don't know how.
There we go.
Yeah, don't bring logic and rationale into this conversation.
Oh my God. This is gonna be a fun night, I think. Hey,
how you guys doing?
How we get rid of this powered by StreamYard stuff in there? That's new.
Oh, that is new. What?
What are they
And
doing
look,
that
our
for?
names are huge and blue.
Let's see.
We not pay the bill?
Tall, regular. That looks good. Well, we're not going to worry about that, I guess. Oh, is this it? No.
Is it resolution bad? No display information? No.
It don't matter. All right, guys.
We're powered by StreamYard, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, good. Sorry, we're just clowning around tonight. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome back, family. Really appreciate you guys as always. And I know it's been a couple weeks. We took last week off just because we were just off
exhausted
of our trip. Yeah, that's one way to put it. So we really appreciate you guys being here. Quick question, actually, for you guys. What do you think of the new short lives that we're doing? We're having some fun.
Vertical lives.
Yeah, the vertical lives. We're trying to do some different things. Try to get some more people in. We've actually gotten quite a few subs off of doing those and a lot of engagement. So we're excited to keep doing those. They're not going to replace anything that we currently do, but some extra stuff here and there. It's the nice thing about it is that we don't have to do the setup and the thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. We can just put a camera and go. And so we think it'll be fun.
A method to the madness. Okay.
Yeah.
What YouTube is coming out with, we don't know when, but it is coming soon, is that we can go live simultaneously on both vertical and horizontal and have one chat feed. So this is what we're kind of starting to build up our vertical audience for, because right now our vertical audience is nearly nothing. So we're trying to build that vertical audience, and then soon it will be, hey, look, you got it. All right.
I figured it out while you were talking. Yeah.
That way we're going to have both simultaneous live feeds. So you will be able to choose. You'll be able to be on your TV. You'll be able to be on your phone, be on your tablet, whatever, and have the experience you want. All right. So we got to build up for that by building up that vertical audience, though. That's unfortunately the way it goes. But again, we've had a lot of great engagement, a lot of great views on it. It's one of those things. We're still, all our long form content still going to be there. Don't worry. It's still going to be all in horizontal. Don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Also, while doing that, I wanted to shout out to a couple of people who sent us some stuff. So Spirit of the Morning sent us some $100,000 bills. I'm going to take this to the bank later on, and some $100,000 candy bars that are almost gone.
Hey, you're supposed to save me one.
Yeah, there'll be one
left. Don't eat them all.
Sure. One left for sure. That's Spirit of the Morning, Kathy. Also, Kathy from Ohio and Bill gave us this, which I'm going to print out one for Mark too. And it is in recognition of our 100,000 YouTube subscribers. And I got to say, this was super nice. Both things from both Kathys are awesome. We appreciate it so much. We're still kind of shell shocked from getting to 100,000. Like, we got here and we're like, well,
now what?
What do we do now? What do we do now?
Right.
I dropped my money.
Oh, and our silver play button shipped.
Oh, sweet.
So we're going to have that very, very soon to share with you guys.
We're going to do an unveiling for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But of course, we have all of you guys to thank for that. I mean, seriously, without you, we're nothing up here. So we really do appreciate each and every one of you, all your likes and subscribes and memberships. Some of you guys have been with us since day one. Susan, you in the house, Susan? And so we really do appreciate everything over the last couple of years. And we did it within 2 years, which is even more awesome. As long as you save me one, Dave, I don't care how many you eat tonight, just save me one.
It's also funny because Jason did essentially what happens with everybody saying the name. They'll say $100,000 bar.
Oh, it's $100,000.
It's $100,000. He said 100,000 grand, which is $1 million, right? No,
Yeah,
that's
100,000 grand. That's $1 billion, isn't it?
$1 billion.
I think so.
Wait, no, $1 billion is 1,000 millions.
10 million. I don't know. Can't do math.
It's a lot of money. Okay,
it's a lot of money. Yeah. All right. As always, this is our Q&A show. So if you do have questions, we're already starting them up here. So continue to ask while we kind of just check in with family here. And we hope to have a fun night. Try to get through as many questions as we can, as always.
So quick one here from Richards. How did Donna do in the Bahamas? Donna did well. She did not place, but she had a great time on her trip. A lot of fun. And she enjoyed it. I've seen her post on Discord about how much time she enjoyed it. And we're really happy that she had a great trip. Win or lose, it's still a great trip to the Bahamas, which being in the Northeast, kind of probably really welcome to have. Maybe even more so in February. They should do it in February next year.
It was fun to see all the pictures that she was sending back. I think she took her sister, right?
Yeah, she took her sister, yes.
Yeah, they had a great time. And Paul has a good question. I just saw this pop up.
Wow.
Why is it so big? For the $5, Dave's like out of here. For the $5 top dollar progressives in Vegas on MGM, would the double top dollar be theoretically easier to hit? It's funny that you asked this because we asked the same exact question to our guy over at IGT. Because if it weren't that progressive, if it was just double diamonds and triple diamonds, double diamonds is way easier to hit than triple diamonds. But he said this was a custom setup, and they're both equally the same probability for that particular one. But very good question. We thought exactly the same. All right. And Deborah says, when you hit the button at the right moment and the RG hits the jackpot, how does the slot machine know how to set off music? So I think I know what you're saying, but basically the way it works on most slot machines, well, the thing that does work on all slot machines is that the moment you press the spin button to initiate the bet, it knows that instant, before it even starts showing you anything. It knows the result of that spin already. And so that's why you can sometimes get the luck has arrived, where it does a little animation letting you know something cool is about to happen. That's why those things can happen, because it's already been decided. Everything after that's eye candy. But typically it doesn't do the jackpot music until it plays through the animation of whatever you got. But it's already prepped for that because it already knows the result the moment that you hit the spin button. I hope that answers your question. I think that's what you were asking.
Okay, so Kevin Deal. Oh, you already got that. Oh,
we put the same one up. Yeah, we were picking the same one for once.
Any chat on G2E, the future Advantage Play machines? So we did not see any at the Ainsworth booth. Someone said they saw maybe a Superman game with a must pay buy, but I did not see that. I saw a game that looked like Superman, unbranded Superman, and it did not have a must hit buy. It had their progressives up there, but they weren't must hit buys. So I do not know. Very few Ainsworth games that were must hit buys, so that'd be an advantage. But as for just regular advantage games, I couldn't really tell you which games were and were not. Too hard just to see on a cursory just look by if there were any other advantage games.
This is a good question. I haven't seen this one come in before. Cecil says, I think I said your name, can you expect around the same results from 5 spins on a 1-line slot as 1 spin on the 5-line slot, or double or triple diamond? This is a very good thought, and I think you can definitely expect the same. The reason I like 5 lines more is because it feels more active, but ultimately you're still betting more because you're betting all those lines. Where if you're just playing a single line, you're just playing one. And so it feels a little bit more active, but all things considered, is pretty much a wash when you think about it that way. But good observation. That's definitely true. But I prefer the 5 lines because the thing I hate about any slot machine is dead spins. It's like the worst feeling in the world. And at least with 5 lines, you're probably not going to end up with a lot of dead spins. You're going to at least get your bet back a lot of times. So that's just a personal opinion of mine. something I like.
And from Shelly Phillips, if I do a group poll with my hubby and brother-in-law, would casino pay a hand pay to the person whose card is in, which we want, or would it be the person who pushed the button? So for that, you're going to have to look at what state laws are. And I highly recommend talking to a slot attendant on what the practice is. If you're new to that state or don't know the laws or can't find out, just ask any slot attendant. They will be happy to tell you on what the practice is. Some places are whoever has the card in. Some places are who pushes the button. It's state law. It's nothing to do with that casino. So just be aware beforehand.
Let's see.
I got another one if you're not ready.
Go ahead.
Okay. Arthur in Vegas. Question: why are Top Dollar and Pinball so popular? They've been around a long time. Pinball and Top Dollar were basically some of the first bonus games out there. And so, like, that's a big deal having an interactive bonus, especially way back when. So they kind of just stuck and have been around for so long, they built a cult following, like Top Dollar. And the people who like Top Dollar Pinball, very divided on that. Like, there's not
definitely.
really people who like, I like Top Dollar and I like pinball. No, they're generally one side or the other. Pinball people will play Top Dollar and Top Dollar people will play pinball, but it's not something I'm looking for first.
We don't have to say anything. I just wanted to put the comment up.
Top Dollar sucks monkey balls.
Then why were you playing it secretly in the high limit room, Bob? Bob. He's a closet freak. He loves Bob. He loves Top Dollar. All right.
And from Hey Helen, was East Coast Slots, I think is his name, in Columbus. I used to watch his videos, but he hasn't posted in a very long time. Yes, he was in Columbus and all around. A lot of Florida, a lot of Atlantic City as well. He basically just stopped doing it, lost interest, kind of got to be a hassle for him. So kind of just how it goes for a lot of channels, a lot of channels just drop off due to attrition. It happens. It's just, it's a lot of work. It really is. People often ask me, what do you recommend if I want to start a gambling channel? First thing I say is don't do it.
Right. I know.
Figure out another idea.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. PMT Slot says, how do you feel about the new games at G2E the past couple of years? Anything that may be here to stay? I'm underwhelmed more each year. Yeah, there's always a lot of repeats. I think if you did watch our recap video, I think Blueberry kind of was bringing in the innovation strong this year.
Yeah.
IGT kind of surprised me a little bit too on the 3 reels. But all the other ones, we either weren't allowed in their booth or we didn't go through it. So, but we saw from the outside, Mo Mummy, it's just the same thing over and over again. There's
another
5 different versions of Huff and Puff and all this other stuff. So
Konami, kind of the same thing, except for the themes are slightly varying.
The Bomberman, yeah.
The Bomberman theme was kind of a variance, but really everybody's kind of recycling. Everyone's kind of recycle year. I will give IGT a little bit more credit than just recycling because they're bringing their old games back to life. Like Red Hottie, they're bringing that back to life. Like Phoenix, they're bringing that back to life. But then they really phone in games like The Egg, so everybody has misses. They really do. Everybody has misses.
It's just something to consider too with this, guys, is that it's a very tough market. It is tough to come up with a new slot machine theme that will be an instant hit. And they will never put all of their eggs in a basket of a new theme idea without it being tested first. Because remember, G2E is about convincing casinos to purchase their machines. And if the games aren't attractive enough to make them take a chance on it, and they can't convince them that this is going to be the next Lightning Link or Dragon Link, then casinos are just going to go with what they already know is filling up chairs in the casinos. Yep. So they come out with a new Dragon Link. That's an easy sell, right? So that's why that stuff is always going to be around until something breaks through the mold. And you've seen this over the last, say, 10 or 20 years. Lightning Link brought on the hold and spin features, which is now a big thing. What have we seen in the last 5 years? The triple pops, you know what I'm talking about, with the 3 different things that you can trigger. That's real hot right now. And so slot manufacturers are at least wise to play in to what they know people are playing, because that's going to generate more sales for them. It's more likely a casino is going to invest in it, and around we go. But every now and then they have to put something out that they just hope sticks. And there is a lot of failures, guys. I got to tell you, they will go through and test these things. They do internal testing, focus groups. And then in addition to that, they have some launch partners out there, like Yamava is a big one, where you can actually go and see a lot of games that you don't see anywhere else. And they put them in there and they slap a camera on it and watch people play it. And before they decide that it's going to be something they roll out everywhere. And you can imagine the amount of cost associated with just doing that. And so there's a lot of risk involved. So I get why a lot of manufacturers are kind of just sitting back and sticking with what they know works, the formulas that work, because they ultimately have shareholders they've got to deal with and they've got to generate sales. But I do like the ones like Blueberry and I think IGT to a lot of extent that are trying to at least scrape on old ideas and bring them back to the surface, or trying new things that are completely radical and making a big buzz about it. And you know what? And if the game's good, people are going to be drawn to it and people are going to play it. And I'll say one last thing about this is why in the future, I hope that G2E will be more receptive to social influencers, because ultimately you guys are the customers, right? And I think that we're in the same position as casino marketing and management is in trying to decide what games we think people will want to play. Casino management looks at it from a totally different perspective than what we do. We're looking at the entertainment value. Are people going to play this? Are the sounds good and all that stuff? Casino managers are like, yeah, but what's the amount of coin in I can expect every day? And it's all metrics and, have you proven it somewhere else? They don't take chances on anything that doesn't have any data to go back with it. So I think if social influencers can be part of that equation, then I think we can start to get some of these ones that are in the corner that nobody's really walking by. And we saw a lot of that at the IGT booth, people just walking past these 3 reels saying we're not interested in that. But then you see 100 people walking around the video slots. We need to get them to look there too, because we know based off of our audience and what you guys have told us in the comments and the videos that we produce, which ones you really do like, and we can communicate that as well. But right now, that's just not the way it is, and we hope that changes in the future. And I really hope it was. And there will be some manufacturers that are going to be more forthcoming with that than others. Aristocrat won't be, but that's my opinion, of course. But yeah, there it is. I think that's my opinion on the thing, and I hope it does change in the future.
I will say I do not think it's that hard to design a game, because Mark and I, with an IGT developer last year, the year before, literally designed a game with the 3 of us. In 5 minutes, we came up with the concept, what it would look like, how the bonus would work. It was based on Dotsons, which, figure that, right? The game designer, she had Dotsons, Mark had Dotsons, and I was like, I can totally see the Dotson growing longer.
Like the wild,
there's your perceived persistence right there to the bonus. Like just a bunch of stuff we were coming up with. And so really the idea, the concept is the hard part. The math can be done, but the concept and how to actually go from there, how the game will play and everything else is the very difficult part. And then adding in all the math and everything else is the second difficult part. And then the graphics is like graphics and sounds would be the last part. But all this stuff, people need your input on what to play next. So if you're playing Dragon Link all the time, then the casino is going to say Dragon Link is our most popular game. We need more Dragon Link type games. Then they're going to go to Aristocrat, and Aristocrat's going to come out with another Dragon Link like they did with Phoenix Link. The same thing with Huff and Puff. Lots of people are playing Huff and Puff. So the casino says, hey, we need more of these. They're super popular. So you're going to have Huff and Puffs forever. And that's the same exact ball that keeps on rolling throughout the casino industry. It's what games are popular, what games are played. that's what games keep proliferating out. And so the best way to do that is if you have a game you like that you don't see, ask your slot attendant, ask for the casino manager, ask them directly, write an email, all these things. Get the games you want in your local casino. Let them know what games you want to play. That's the important thing. That helps them out so much right there. I got someone who's going to play this game. I'll get it in. If it doesn't do well, it's out.
Right.
Easy enough.
Totally
They
agree.
don't pay for these games anymore. You know?
They're all
it's not
leased.
like
Yeah,
they're paying
exactly.
for the games. They just call up and order them.
Exactly.
It's not like the olden days where you were paying for a game.
I like this question. This will get us some discussion. If you owned your own casino, what would you do different than what casinos do now? All right, I'll make my list, and then Dave, I want you to make my list. Make your list. Obviously, I'd love the whole thing to be non-smoking, but I don't have anything against smokers. So maybe a section for non-smoking and a section for smoking.
Like Ohio.
Have the same games in both, so people aren't forced to go into one or the other place. Second, I would have published return to player settings on every single machine so that you would know exactly what you're playing. Number 3, I would have a volatility rating on every single machine so people can look up what they're about to play, and if they need lessons on what volatility is. I'm thinking like a QR code on the side of every single machine that you could scan. It'll tell you the probabilities of everything that's on there, the volatility of the game, popularity, all that kind of stuff, just all the stats about the game. That's what I would love to see in a casino. And obviously, one ATM. That's it. So you'd have to go and wait in line forever to get money out of the ATM. What about you, Dave?
So I would definitely take bits and pieces from successful things I know in casinos. For one, just like Mark said, non-smoking, but with a smoking room as well. Primarily would be non-smoking. That'd be the thing. Nothing against smokers. It's just we need to have that space. The same thing we do in airports. The same thing we do most places. Most bars are even non-smoking now. So that's something I believe is coming. Food court would be very much a copy of Resorts World. It would stretch the length of the casino floor so you wouldn't be far from there at all. And I think that's a great design to be able to jump back and forth. But I would have 2 cages. I would have a cage at one corner and another cage at another corner. I don't care how close they are to the doors or if they need to be right in the middle. Essentially, I want people to be able to get to a cage without having to walk all over the place. I don't want you, if we have one cage, you got to walk half a mile that way. It's horrible. The other thing, like Mark said, one ATM machine that I would put I would put it right in the middle of the whole casino, right in the middle, so that you'd be seen going to the ATM machine, and it should be the walk of shame. It should be like, yep, I'm going to the ATM machine. Here we go. Plus, my ATM machine would have at least a $49.99 fee. I don't care if it ever gets used. I don't care if there's dust.
$50 fee.
$50 fee.
Damn.
Like I said, I don't care if it gets used. I don't care if there's dust on the thing.
But the problem is I got you. No, I know where you're. I know where you're
high
going.
Ceiling, high ceilings for sure. There would be music played, and it would rotate through. WinStar does a great job playing music. Their music is good music. They rotate through. It's great listening music, and I think that's a huge part of it. The other thing is I would make sure that all of my comps are published. How much a point costs? What do you do to earn a free night? How much free play? What coin in gets you what? So it is extremely clear, and all that would be right on the side of the player's desk. Easy to see, easy to know what you have to do. That'd be mine.
I love it.
I basically just copy a whole bunch.
When are we opening a casino?
I'm telling you, as soon as someone gets smart and asks us, "Hey, what do you guys think about this?" I'll be like, "Look, think about doing this. Think about doing that. Look at doing this. Raise your ceiling up. Put a little bit more light in. Put a little bit less light here. You don't want so much light here. You want more light here." And I really think we'd be good at it.
There's actually a lot of casinos where the ATM and the voucher is totally separate. So
that feature can be turned off.
They can definitely turn off the ATM feature on those things. So
on all those things, that's just a feature.
Yeah.
lower volume for music in the morning. Hey, Helen has a good idea. I agree with that.
I like that.
Easier listening music, like
Yeah.
easier listening.
And stuff that doesn't get us copyright strikes.
Yeah. A lot of John Denver, a lot of Bob Dylan.
Yeah, there you go. I'm talking about like Beethoven stuff that's royalty free.
Oh, I don't want to put people to sleep,
No, I know. Oh man.
I had another question here.
Oh, sorry. I don't know why Hard Rock in Atlantic City or switch out some of their games. The whole entire back end of the casino hardly ever gets played, filled with games no one plays, like the Underdog. Yeah, I don't know why that's so freaking huge.
It's so huge.
Whenever you're answering a question, I'll go dig in there and see if I can figure it out.
I feel like I'm putting my nose right over the side.
It's really interesting how they decide which games stay and which don't. Usually, if there's games that aren't getting played much, they do relegate them to lower trafficked areas. Not because of payback return or anything like that. It's just that they want the games that people are more likely to play up front and center. So people know instantly when they're walking in there that they have their game that they're wanting to play. And that's why you typically see like the older 3-reels and stuff in the back corners, in the basement, things like that, because people still want to play them, but it's certainly not as in demand as all the other ones. And they don't want to imagine walking into a casino and the first thing that you see in all of the aisles that you're walking down is nothing but old machines. There's like we would love it, but most people would not like that, just seeing, old school slots. And so that they would make an assumption that that's all this casino is. They wouldn't go to the top floor, which has all the video slots that they love. And so they're always going to put preference to those ones that are hot and new. Has nothing to do with payback or return or anything like that. It just has to do with visuality, getting people to see it when they come in. All right, Dave, take a couple questions. I want to see if I can figure this out.
All right, we got here from Cracking for Dopamine. My dad and I did great at WinStar October 1st. We came back with money thanks to y'all's advice. We are planning on going back around the first of the year. You followed the advice. All we can do is say the words. You guys got to do it, and I'm really proud of you guys for actually listening, hearing us in your heads to be like, what would Mark and Dave say right now? And I'm glad you guys are taking that and bringing that money home. And as I keep telling people, if you just bring $20 back, you didn't put it all back in. You brought $20 back. That's better than zero. So keep on up with the good work. You guys are the ones doing it. And Buckeye Slots, did you guys like the candy Buckeyes I brought you? Absolutely, I did. I am a peanut butter fan. So anything chocolate and peanut butter works for me. Like, really good. Kathy Quinn also got us some, Kathy and Bill, sorry, don't want to leave Bill out. Also got us some treats from Ohio. They're also really good. I know there's a big Cleveland versus Columbus feud as to who has the better Buckeyes. I don't know. I don't want to get in that fight.
You become a diabetic just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And from Samurai Jin, if you only had $20 to put in one machine in Fremont, where in Vegas, what machine would you put it in? Four Queens, the Fox and Hound game.
There you go.
As much as I hate that game, I don't want it to go anywhere because it's the last one that I know of. It maybe will be the last one in Vegas, as far as I know. And I put $20 in it every time. I actually won this last time.
Yeah, you did.
He walked away with money, which I was like telling Mark, I was like, I've never won on this.
That's right. Yeah.
But I do like to play it because it is one of those old games, and it's penny 2-cent game. You kind of go kind of high with the pennies and 2 cents, but it's fun. So it's like try to win is on that game.
Oh, we got a gifted memberships from Lucinda.
Thank you, Lucinda.
Thank you so much, Lucinda. Really do appreciate
Lucinda's addicted. Now she's trying to get other people hooked.
That's right. Yeah. And congratulations.
Lucinda joined, and then she's been on our Discord and everything. I think she's hooked on us now.
That's right. For better or for worse.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Lucinda. The withdrawals are not easy. From Michelle. Love Bing Bang Boom. Who makes that? That's made by IGT. I agree. I like that game. It's not IGT?
No, that's Light and Wonder.
Oh, that's Light and Wonder.
Yeah, that's Light and Wonder. Yeah.
I thought it was IGT for some reason.
No, it's
because
Light and Wonder.
the thin cabinet, like the Huff and Extra Puff.
That's right.
Yes, that's Light and Wonder. I really like that game.
That is a fun game. That is a fun game. New York.
It's entertaining. Yeah, it's entertaining. Like, it's just fun. And what's funny is when I first showed Mark that, he's like, I don't like that. And then he starts playing it. I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, I can see this. This is kind of fun. It grows on you.
Yeah, it was funny because I was
with John.
Exactly. I just didn't want to. I just like, it's just another one of those triple pop things.
Yep.
But it's very active. It's very active. I got to say, now that doesn't mean the bonus rounds are always amazing, but it feels active, and I love that. I love that about games where you feel like you're going to at least get some kind of action when you play it,
right.
And that was certainly one of them. So, yeah, and New York has a bank of them. Hopefully, they're still there.
And you're starting to see more places too. They are starting to come out.
Yeah, they've moved it around a couple times.
I got John hooked on that game in Foxwoods, and he's like, "This is so much fun." Of course, it bonus for him like over and over again in his videos, so that's always a great one. Oh, there's one from Wizard King. Going to Choctaw Durant for the first time. Any tips? Park in the parking garage. As soon as you park in the parking garage, you're going to go straight out into the non-smoking area. Some great food choices there. You have Velvet Taco. They have the full arcade right there. If you have any kids with you or underage people, they can go there. Player's desk, easily accessible. You have this whole non-smoking area. It's massive. The poker room is there as well. And you can walk down the long hall. If you are a smoker, park on the other side of the casino to walk into the smoking section. A little bit darker, but still very well laid out. You won't have a problem navigating at all. In the new section, the non-smoking section, super brightly lit, high ceilings, great layout, easy to find everything. I really do like this over WinStar. They have all their drink stations are against the wall instead of in the pods. Yeah. And they have the 16-ounce cups, not the little 10-ounce, 12-ounce, whatever those things are.
Choctaw basically one-ups every little nuisance that WinStar has. Yeah. And they just do it better, right? So
except their comps.
Except their comps. Yeah, that's the only thing.
I don't know why.
Maybe we just need to play there more.
Maybe that's it.
Mr. Swamp Jackpot says, if a machine at my casino is always empty when I'm there, but has been there for 2 years, does that mean it has a low RTP so the casino keeps it? No. Remember that slot machines, guys, every single spin is independent. So what has happened previously has absolutely no bearing on the outcomes. This is probably the number one thing that I'm always answering in the comments because I understand it. People feel that the machine has to actively balance, right? Well, it's taking in this amount of money. So in order to stay in compliance, it needs to pay back this amount. And, it's constantly changing its algorithms and stuff like that to stay in balance. It doesn't have to do any of that. That's going to happen naturally because of the probabilities that were built into the game. So every time you press that spin button, all of the probabilities are exactly the same as the person who pressed it 5 minutes ago. It's exactly the same every single time. So the age of the machine, the location of the machine, none of that stuff has any bearing on what the outcomes are going to be, regardless. So just try to keep that in mind. That is the one thing that I hope people can really start to understand because of all of the bad decisions that are made based off of that. People looking at somebody lose thousands into a machine and get off of it and think, wow, that guy just got wrecked. The machine has got to start paying out, so it's due. That's not true. That's not what's going to happen. And you could get easily as wrecked as that person is. And so you don't want to go in thinking that because you're going to run into trouble. There's a lot of scenarios of this. So that's probably the one takeaway I would wish everybody that watches our videos would understand about slot machines and how they work is that every spin is completely separate and independent. It does not look back. All right.
And from AP, nope, that one. Oh, that was one. Okay, AB Stevens. Question: can casino employees gamble at the property they work for? Generally, no. Most of the time, they are not allowed to gamble at the property they work out. The reason is they want to avoid any impropriety, any favoritism, anything that would make anybody question something, all that. So most of the time, they are not allowed to gamble at the property or associated property that they work at. So let's say, for instance, they worked at MGM. They would not be able to gamble at any MGM property, but Caesars is wide open. And then the same thing for Caesars. We know for a fact that anyone who works at WinStar cannot gamble at WinStar. And we know for a fact the same thing at Choctaw. So they generally go gamble at each other's properties.
Let's see. 433 Michael says, has Vegas gotten as bad as I'm hearing? Cost comes to mind. Here's the thing. What made headlines is that $28 bottle of water that was at MGM or something, and it went nuts.
$12 coffee caliber.
Yeah. Is Vegas expensive? Yes. Has it always been expensive? Yes, for a while. It's not known to be the kind of place that you can go to the gift shop in the casino and get a bottle of water for $2. It's never been known as that in my lifetime anyway. It's always been pretty expensive. Now, there's some extreme cases of that. But I do have to say, being there the last couple of times when all this news has been out there, I really haven't seen a big change. I know the numbers say that a lot of things are down because of costs and things like that. And I think it's a balance between the comp system and people that are there without comps. They've got to figure that out, because a lot of people that go to Vegas are getting all that stuff comped. And so what does that tend to make them do? Raise the prices, because even though it's comped for you, they still have to bill the casino. Does that make sense? Like if you go to a restaurant, and because the restaurant is not associated with the casino at all, you go to the restaurant and you comp your meal, the restaurant asks for that money back from the casino. And so, and I'm sure they get discounts and stuff like that. But if they continue to raise the price, it's kind of like the health system in this country. It's the same thing. It's like, let's see how much we can ask for this bottle of water before it becomes too much. And I think they've been pushing that boundary a little bit lately. But it's not a ghost town. I've seen so many like thumbnail clickbait. Oh, Vegas is a ghost town. It is not a ghost town. It is still very busy. Even during the middle of the week when we were there, it was still packed with people. Casinos are packed. So I don't think it's as crazy, but do what Dave does. Dave does this every time he goes to Vegas. He goes to CVS and he buys all his bottles of water from CVS and brings it back up to his room, because he can buy a whole 12-pack for what it costs for 2 bottles of water.
Pretty much one.
One, yeah.
Yeah.
So be smart about it when you're there. Don't pay those prices.
Now, the CEO of MGM did say they did drop the ball on prices this summer. They had definitely not reacted like they should have for prices, especially when the news of the $12 coffee at Excalibur of all places came out. A lot of fees and prices associated with MGM specifically were not addressed quick enough for their liking. I will say this, after he said that, 0 prices changed.
Exactly.
Because now the right prices are where they're supposed to be for all the conventions coming in town. So this is how Vegas has always worked. Prices are going to be high on the strip, and they're going to be lower downtown. It is the way it's always been. And they're going to be lower still at locals casinos off the strip. Stay where you feel your dollars are appreciated most, whether that's at Green Valley Ranch off the strip, whether it's at downtown Grand and Fremont Street, or whether it's at Circus on the strip. Stay where you feel your dollars are appreciated, where you're appreciated. Don't stay
said,
just because
Dave.
of the hype. You know,
that's the quote of the night right there.
We get tied up in the whole where we're, I got to be at Aria. Why you got to be at Aria?
That's right.
I got to be at Caesars. I'm like, I've stayed at Caesars. It's okay. Yeah. It's nice, but
while we're talking about that, guys, if you do have comps, take a close look at what you get, because if you stay at the lower tier properties, you're probably going to get more food and beverage.
Yeah.
And so don't just say, man, I have got to stay at Bellagio. Well, yeah, but if you stay at Bellagio, you might get $50 in food and beverage credit. But if you stay at New York, or MGM Grand or Excalibur, you might get $350. And so you got to analyze that kind of stuff. And
that is actually my offer. If I stay at Bellagio or Aria, I'm getting $100 in free play and $50 food comp. If I stay at New York, Park MGM, Excalibur or Luxor, I'm getting 350 food offer and $300 free play. That's my exact offer. So there you go. I mean, I'd stay at Park MGM all the time. I like the place and I get more comps, non-smoking. And Mark really likes the food at New York. And I just could walk right over there. No
right
problem.
Next door. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
$50 super chat.
$50 super chat. Mike 3D Pro. Thanks, Mike. Wow.
He wrote so much that Dave is completely
I'm really covered now.
I couldn't find anything to change that. Gamble $10,000. Wow, that's a lot, but likely way more than that point in at Foxwoods in 2 trips. Slot Tech told me 1 point rough cost is $285.
No, that's not right.
Is that correct?
No.
I'm still lowest level tier. Caesars offered me free flights to Reno and Caribbean.
Foxwoods is like Mohegan, which is also like WinStar, which is also like Choctaw. Points are very difficult to get there. This is the same thing we hear from Old School Slots, because he goes to Mohegan and Foxwoods for the multiplier days. So points are harder to get. They're not $285 a point. I can ask Old School Slots, but I want to say they're closer to about $15, $20 a point, in that range. I would say 10 on the low, 20 on the high, in that range of $15 a point. Points are harder to get because they are worth more at these places, though. Unlike WinStar, where it's $15 a point and points aren't worth anything. So,
right.
Think about that. I do know at both Foxwoods and Mohegan, for different points, for different levels, you can cash those in for different drinks, different things like the lounge, different stuff like that. But no, it is not $285 a point. I know that for sure. That's not correct. Let me see if I can text Stefan and ask him.
And thank you very much for the $50 super chat. That's really generous of you, Mike. We really appreciate you. It's fun seeing you in here every week. Thank you, sir. All right, let's see. I had some other. This is actually a really good tip here. Captain Newport says, if you want to take a break from slot play, downtown Vegas Plaza Hotel has a bingo room. Bingo is a very slow game, and so are table games. If you feel like you are getting sucked into the slots, we talk about this all the time. You've got that tunnel vision on slots. You can't get away from it. First, you should just take a break. But if you feel like you still need to gamble something, consider a table game, or bingo is even better, or Keno, live Keno. Because it slows everything down and you can still have fun and you still get that urge of excitement, right? That those endorphins running, like that's what you're after, right? As gamblers,
one
that's
of these days,
for.
Mark and I are going to play bingo at WinStar. We absolutely are.
We have to.
We just need to make sure that we can film it, because that's the other thing. We're going to sit in back, because otherwise we're going to get killed. Yeah. We're going to get trolls thrown at us.
I know. We're gonna have to be very quiet.
We're gonna get trolled so hard.
we can't use the word bingo in the sentence. Yeah.
Mark, I know a farmer who had a dog.
Bingo was his name.
Bingo was his name. Yeah, we're getting kicked out.
Yeah, we would get kicked out.
Yeah.
But we would do it. We would take that for you guys just to get it on film.
That'd be so funny.
And Gary Slots Travel says, who makes quick hits machines, and do you like quick hits? That is a Light and Wonder game. Quick hits is very old school. It goes all the way back to Bally. And then
I like
Bally was purchased
Bally,
by SG. SG was purchased by Light and Wonder. But yeah, quick hits. I prefer the older ones than the newer ones. Have gotten pretty crazy on the volatility scale. I like the old 5-reel quick hits where you get the 3 free games in the middle reels. That's probably my sweet spot. That's one of my favorites to play if I can find it. But yeah, quick hits are good.
Oh, there was also some news on Bally's that I forgot to share. Bally's was rejected for financing for their hotel casino they want to build attached to the new baseball stadium. So they are not going to get financing for that. And they don't have the money because of their different projects that have gone way over budget, like in Chicago. So not sure what's going to happen. Bally's may not be opening that hotel casino attached to that. So we're going to have to see. And Dave looks like the beaver in the Timberjack slot. Is it because of the hair?
You do.
Yeah. Or is it when I'm like this?
Yeah, I think it's like that. Yeah. You're hiding
need
behind the
haircut.
reels. Yeah.
Haircuts in the future.
All right. Let's see.
Well, there's another question I marked and I forgot it.
Catmom1212 says, if you go to a casino and there are only high volatility games, well, number one, I hate that. If I had an option, I'd leave. But what would you play?
I would patrol all the Phoenix Link games looking for the highest number. That's what I would do.
I'm going to hate to say it. Bob's going to light me up for it, but I would play a Huff and Puff game. As much as
Huff and Puff anyway.
It's a bad game. But I still love it.
Bonus.
It's fun. It's a fun game. The original ones were a little better. I think Huff and More Puff is my favorite. That's the one where they added the buzzsaws because they didn't. After that, they just kind of went crazy because every single feature that they added, they cut down what each of the houses actually pay you, and so you get really excited on the new ones like Huff and Even More Puff Grand, and you got a bunch of brick houses, but the brick houses are paying as much as the wooden houses did in the old one. So it's all perception, and I mean they're doing a good job at that, but it's one of those things to be aware of. So I would stick with the older Huff and Puffs if I was really forced into playing something like that. And Dave and his Phoenix Link.
And from Deborah Davis, when you're looking at low volatility game, do you look at the pay table? Yes, I do look at the pay table, but a lot of times you don't really need to because there's not that many low volatility slots anymore. So it's way easier to identify them. But generally what you're looking for, and I have a video out there called Volatility for Dummies, is check out the pay table. The flatter the pay table, the better. The less symbols, the better. And the less wilds, the better. Mark might have some glass.
I've got a glass here that I think.
That's what I figured. The less things on a pay table, the better. So
not necessarily,
but it's a good rule.
All right, so this is Double Diamond, right? Everybody knows Double Diamond. This is a $10 denomination. That's why you see the stuff is really high. A good way to tell if it's a high volatility or a low volatility game is that if the top pay, which is right here for betting 2 credits, how far away from that is your bet? So the bet on this one's $10, or actually it would be $20 because you're betting 2 coins, and you get 16,000 for it, right? Now, take that and look at a 10 times pay. A 10 times pay is 20,000 credits by getting all 3, and instead of 1,600 credits. So that means the volatility is higher. So basically look at how far away the top line hit is from your bet size, and that will instantly give you some kind of indication. Now, it's not cut and dry like Dave said. There's a lot of variables that go into place, like progressives, free games, all that kind of stuff. Most of all the penny slots, none of them are low volatility. I will say that with confidence. None of them are low volatility.
That's why it's easier to identify them because there's so few now. Yeah. So it's like you see a Double Diamond in the sea of penny slots, that's low volatility. Right. I see a 10 times pay in a sea of penny slots. The 10 times pay is still lower volatility than the penny slots. That's what's crazy, is that 10 times pay used to be the most volatile game there was. There wasn't a more one. And then they just kept on flooding them. So, but anytime it gets more and more complicated to understand the pay table, it's most likely higher in volatility. Yeah.
Plus, and another way, the best way to tell, honestly, and I'm going to say this for the last couple months, is if you're interested in a game, let's say a new game came out and you wanted to gauge the volatility of it, you can actually do it without playing. And that's one thing I think is really good about YouTube these days. You can do a lot of research on a game. Try to find somebody that is playing it, I would say, for at least 10 minutes straight, unedited, uncut, or live. Watch them play the game and see how frequent the bonus rounds are. And then when you do get into the bonus rounds, how much do they typically pay? The longer, the better. If you can watch somebody for 30 minutes or 20 minutes, it's going to be a better sample size to kind of make a judgment call on the volatility. but that is a good way to kind of tell what you're up against. I do this regularly. If I pretty much watch enough channels that I know play brand new games that I enjoy, that anytime a new game comes out, I will watch them, and then I'll say, wow, I don't know, that's a little rough for me. Like it took like 150 spins to get the bonus, and it was garbage. That tells you that the volatility is really high on that game because the bonus frequency is low, and the range in what pays can happen during the bonus round is big. And that is a high volatility game where things like Top Dollar and Pinball, everything's compressed, where an average bonus round on Pinball is around 80 or so credits. So you usually get somewhere between 50 and 120 most of the time, and it's a narrower range. But if Pinball is a high volatility game, it might be 5 or 10,000, and you just don't know where it's going to land, you know? So there's some things that you can do to really look at it and figure it out. But best thing is to watch somebody else play it first and see if it's the kind of risk reward that you're willing to deal with.
And that's a great thing about YouTube for sure, is being able to watch the play on these games.
Not the shorts. Don't watch the shorts. You got to watch the long play. I know. You got to watch the long. Why is everybody do this? This person always wins. They're always winning. It's like, well, you got to watch them for a long period of time. If they're just posting the wins, that is not something. It's fun to watch. It's entertaining. Yep. That's fine. But separate that from education, because education, you need a long sample size of watching somebody play to understand what is really going on with that game.
And $5 gifted memberships from J-Dog. Thank you, J-Dog. Appreciate you a lot.
Thank you, J-Dog, as always. And Majestic came in with a clutch.
Oh,
10 Gamble Smart memberships.
10 Gamble. Make sure you subscribe to Majestic Slots.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of channels. We're trying to get to 1,000. Majestic Slots, Gary's travel channel.
Yep.
Slots and Travel, Slots of Oklahoma, all these great channels. Really make sure to subscribe, because these are smaller channels that are just going out. So you're going to see something a little different. You're going to see their own twist on stuff. You know, all these, we once were a smaller channel too. We had to make our own niche, you know, and then that's kind of what they do. You just make your own niche. And
it's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. So
for sure,
give them some love, guys.
Hit that comment. And here's another one here from KFA Chong, Kappa Chong. Whatever. Are casinos ever going to ban smoking altogether in the future? I do not think so. I do not think we're going to see a total ban on smoking, at least in my lifetime. It's possible, I guess, but I don't see unless there's some huge major revamp of health concerns around smoking again, like there was kind of in the late 80s. If that starts up again, I think we will see something. But I don't really think anything downtown is going to change to non-smoking completely. I don't see it happening. I don't see all of the strip clubs changing to non-smoking. I don't see these things happening. I think we see a lot of things happening in municipal areas in our cities where smoking bans are easier to enforce, such as my city in Fort Worth. You can't smoke in any restaurants now. You can still smoke in bars, but you can't you can't be in a bar that serves primarily food. So like Buffalo Wild Wings, they have a bar, but they serve primary food, so you cannot smoke in there. I just don't see it happening completely. I do see places like Choctaw and Windstar having larger and larger non-smoking areas, and I think that's sort of going to be the thing going forward, is a large non-smoking area and maybe smaller and smaller smoking areas over time. But as far as a ban completely, I don't see it happening.
All right. This is a good one. McKeone James, hopefully I said your name right. Thinking about going to Vegas for the first time for a multi-night event at the Horseshoe in April. What would you tell a first-timer like myself? Explore. Go, it's depending on how much time you have. Go down to the Strip.
Yeah.
Go
4 nights.
4 nights.
Go 4 nights. Go 4 nights.
Yeah, if you're only there for a multi-night.
Go 4 days.
Yeah.
3 nights.
3 nights.
4 days. Yeah.
Try to spend at least a day walking up and down the Strip, and then also downtown Fremont Street.
Friday or Saturday night.
I think both of those.
7 p.m. on Fremont Street, and go until late as you can. 1 in the morning. Check out each and every casino. So there's a reason, there's a method to my madness. For one, the light show overhead on Fremont Street goes off every 45 minutes, I think it is, and it changes. You won't see the same one twice throughout the night. So that's really awesome to see. The other reason is everything crazy happens downtown late at night. And I mean, it just is crazy to see. People watching galore happens down there. Make sure you hit Bellagio. Make sure you're watching a couple of fountain shows. You're staying at Horseshoe. That's great. You can get a monorail. You can drive up and down the strip for pretty cheap. I would say get a 3-day pass because you can just cover a lot of distance. But go see things. Go see the Bellagio Conservatory. Go see the canals over at Venetian. Go see all these things that are around the strip and not just gamble the whole time. And food. Don't forget food.
Yeah.
A lot of good food.
Oh, Mike, take care of your mom. Good. Hope she does okay. And thanks again. Really appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah. Speedy recovery on that tooth.
Got one from Spicy Ramen. Question: I haven't seen anyone ask, why don't table game players pay taxes after a big win like how slot players do? I've seen them just leave with chips. So table game players do pay taxes on large wins if they are progressives or side bets. All right. So this is kind of a different thing than slots. Remember, if we win $1,200 on a slot machine, you're paying taxes on it right away. On table games, there's not a whole lot of big wins happening without big bets. So essentially, you want to win $1,000 at blackjack, you need to bet $1,000 or bet, $700 and get a blackjack. So essentially, that's what you're doing. You're putting more money up for these table games to win what would be considered equal money on a $3 bet on a slot. So unless you hit a side bet, which is like a major progressive, or maybe some carnival game type side bet where it pays 50x or 500x or whatever for a royal flush, and you only bet $2 for it, that is why you're not seeing these wins. But anytime there is a huge win, such as the crazy sevens blackjack where you hit 7 red sevens and you win $20,000, you're paying taxes on that for sure. I got another one here if you're not ready.
Go for it. Go ahead.
All right. From Slotsville, Oklahoma. If you have a machine in both Class 2 and Class 3, do they play the same? Yes, they play the same. Your experience might be slightly different because if it is a bingo Class 2, you're going to see the card. That's required. You're going to see that card there. But there are many Class 2 and Class 3 shared titles where you wouldn't really have a huge difference in experience. It would be the same. That's their goal. They want to have you play the same.
Exactly right. And Gloria says, does a jackpot or great hit ever happen without your luck has arrived? Heads up. Oh yeah. It's mostly randomized. So they will, if a big hit is coming, sometimes they'll show the luck has arrived and sometimes they won't. And that's just to kind of keep it interesting, right? If you always saw luck has arrived, then you would just be looking for that and nothing else. So they want to try to surprise you every now and then. So it's not guaranteed, but it's just kind of a random pick on when it decides that it's going to do that or not.
This was from Richard Jacobs. Do you see the guy at Rio? They turned down his license. Yeah, this is for the, I believe, the CEO of the new Rio. They turned down his license. It's not uncommon. This does happen. Licenses get reviewed every so many years. His license did get turned down, but that doesn't mean that Rio has to shut down. Essentially, he's going to have to step down from his role, and someone new is going to have to take his place who can get licensed. I believe it was CEO, or it might have been gaming officer, but it was up there. Licenses are serious, that's for sure.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Kay Fachong says, are electronic table games considered slot machines? No, as long as they are labeled as a table game. So if it's virtual roulette, virtual blackjack, virtual craps, bubble craps, all those, they have to play exactly like the table game counterpart, where the randomness that occurs cannot be weighted in any way So the shuffling of cards or the dice being thrown, all that kind of stuff has to be truly random. They can't put weights on certain results, meaning, oh, look, he keeps playing 8 black on roulette. Let's make sure to keep that ball away from 8 black. They can't do that. It has to be a random ball shuffle. So, but if you see a machine that is more of a slot that has the components of a slot machine, like reels, and then it has a component on top of it, like a blackjack or roulette or something, that's different. So there's a game, for example, called Hot Roulette, where you're playing a slot machine, but there's a roulette bonus. That is definitely a slot machine. That is not playing the same rules as a virtual roulette is. If that makes sense. Good question. Thank you. First time I've seen you in here, so welcome.
Dark Oblivion. The Blazing Sevens version of Top Dollar at Cosmo is a good version to play. I haven't seen it elsewhere. Hot Top Dollar sucks.
Yeah, it does.
This game is also be found. You can also find this at Mandalay Bay. I know this for a fact because those are the 2 places where I've seen it. I hate both.
Arya has it.
Arya has it too. Don't play it there either. Yeah. Hot Top Dollar is the worst version of Top Dollar in my opinion. It is just beat down, miserable to play. I would rather play I'd rather play Phoenix. I'd rather play a Phoenix Gold game than a Phoenix Gold.
A nerve.
Play that. Yeah, because Phoenix Gold, I hate Phoenix Gold so much too.
There you go.
Yeah. It can be a fun game because it does have different graphics. I don't think it plays the same as Top Dollar. I know it's supposed to. I just don't think it does as far as the bonus frequency, nor the bonus offers. That's just my opinion.
I think the bonus offers are the same, but definitely the line hits are really hard on that game. Because it's sizzling sevens, basically.
Yeah. Which is even harder than it is on regular Double Diamond.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm in agreement. I never play that one. And I don't like the way the bonus symbol looks either. I don't know. I've never been a fan of it either. All right, guys. Well, we're at our hour, so really appreciate all your time tonight. Excellent questions. We got through just about all of them. So, as always, we want to say thank you to all of our members out there, and congratulations to all you that want a gifted membership. Make sure to check out our post section on our website or on our YouTube page to get all the details about the goodies that you get as becoming a Gamble Smart member. And of course, if you do enjoy it, we would hope that you would continue to renew and help support the channel out. And coming in late, Slots of Oklahoma with a $10. Thanks for the shout out. No worries,
Thank you, Slots of Oklahoma. We got to get together sometime at WinStar.
Yeah, we do. You need to come down there for sure.
I know you're in northern areas, but we also need to get
make it down. You got to make it down. We'll have fun.
Also, we need to get more north for sure.
That's right. That's true. Maybe we'll meet in the middle somewhere. Choctaw will probably be closer for him. All right, guys. As always, gamble smart,
gamble safe.
You guys take care, and we'll see you on the next video or live stream.
Look out for us going live this weekend. It'll probably be at different times, but I'm going to be down there at Mark's, and we're going to be working on some machines, so we might just have the live going the whole time. Never know.
Oh, that could be a long live.
Yeah. We also might do a live from this egg place that's in Temple that I saw on TikTok.
Why would we do that?
Because it's interesting and cool. It's hip and pop and fresh. That's what the kids say, yo. Mark already hit the end stream button.
Not yet.
Have a good one, gang.
I'm letting you soak it up a little bit before.
We'll see you next week for sure.
See you guys. Bye-bye.